back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial. I haven't done a makeup tutorial in quite a while. I want to give a shout out to my subby Tawana, I believe. She requested a beginner friendly makeup tutorial, and one of my friends was just asking me about makeup application a few weeks ago. And so I wanted to get a beginner friendly makeup tutorial for you guys. I did a smoky eye, but it's very easy to follow along with. I walked you guys through all the steps that I use in my everyday makeup. This is like a fun take on an everyday look without giving you guys too much color. But honestly, this is the type of makeup I would do if I were actually putting on eyeshadow, which I don't do too often. So if you want to see how I got this look, please keep watching. Period. Ooh, that's so good. Hello, beautiful people. I am feeling a little under the weather, so please bear with me today. You all already know if I don't get adequate rest, I get sick. So I'm not sick, but I definitely feel like it could be getting there. So today I wanted to do a really beginner friendly makeup tutorial because I actually get quite a few questions from my beauties about how to apply certain things. Recently, my friend had a 30th birthday. Shout out to you, Kiara. And she was like, I've gone back and watched your beginner friendly videos to gather some tips and tricks. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to start by just doing my eyebrows, and you guys, I will leave a full eyebrow tutorial down below. Right now I'm dealing with a little less eyebrow than usual because I got a little happy when I was waxing. So yeah, just be mindful of that. They're sisters, not twins. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is really nice for use as a primer. It actually helps your makeup stay in place. I am not a huge primer gal, but this one actually works. You spray it before you apply your makeup and also afterwards. Okay, so because this is a beginner friendly makeup look, I wanted to talk a little bit about prepping your skin for makeup. Please, 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 please exfoliate. It is not all about having perfected skin. As you can see, my skin is not perfected. It's very flawed. It is what it is, but a smooth, even canvas, i.e. exfoliating your skin, is so very important. I will link a video down below. I did all about exfoliation. Whether you have perfectly clear, smooth skin or not, everyone should be exfoliating. It is how you get a nice, smooth application of your makeup. It's how you can look more even. It helps your makeup to look more perfected, even if it's not perfect. So I highly encourage everybody to exfoliate. I only exfoliate a few times a week, specifically when I'm going to be wearing makeup, or about once or twice a week if I'm not wearing any makeup. So I did exfoliate and I put on a moisturizer and sunscreen. Sunscreen is also so very important. I will link a video all about sunscreen as well. Next, we're going to go into foundation. Now, you can apply your makeup in whichever way you would like. I like to apply my eyebrows first just so that I don't get them messy, and then I apply my foundation. Nothing fancy. I just dispense my foundation to the back of my hand, and I use a dirty, well, it's clean, but it is stained. This is a Beauty Blender dupe. I picked this up from Amazon and I'll link it down below. I used to purchase beauty blenders, but for $20 a pop, it was just becoming too expensive. So I get these from Amazon. I think you get 5 for $10. They feel 99% similar, so I really enjoy them. Okay, so as you guys saw before I started applying my makeup, I don't have perfect skin. I like a full coverage foundation. This is the Becca full coverage foundation. Now, Becca is going out of business in September, so if you'd like to try this foundation, do so now. But I apply one layer of foundation all over my entire complexion, and then I go back in and build up foundation wherever I need it. Now, I am coming off of the worst breakout in the history of my skin. It was just an extremely bad hormonal week for me. So yeah, I'll be needing to apply a lot of extra foundation today, but I'm no stranger to that. So yeah, I'm gonna get one all over, really nice and even layer. And I keep the foundation off of my eye area because I do apply concealer there. Okay, so I have one even coat or layer of foundation on my skin. Now, if you were going to work, church, anything like that, or if I were going, this would be fine in terms of the coverage that I have on my actual complexion, but I like a full beat, so I'm gonna go back in with even more foundation, and I'm only gonna apply it to the areas of my face which need more coverage. I like this trick because although I need extra coverage, I don't necessarily want extra coverage everywhere. So I'm gonna concentrate this on my cheek area, my temples, and a little bit on my forehead because I've been breaking out a little there as well. So this little trick helps to give me fuller coverage, but not to look cakey, as they say. And I'm just using this sponge to stipple the foundation in so that I'm not rubbing away any coverage because mama needs her coverage. Okay, so now I have all the coverage that I like with foundation, so I'm gonna put that away. Next, I'm gonna move on to concealer. This is my current favorite concealer. It's the Pat McGrath Sublime Perfection Concealer, and I have the shade M16. Oh my goodness, I've been putting M17. Now, as far as concealer, there are lots of hacks right now going around on the internet about where you should actually apply your concealer. To me, makeup is an art. Makeup should also be applied per your facial structure and the look that you would like to give. I don't find makeup application is one size fits all, and this is coming from someone who used to apply makeup for a living. So for myself, I apply my makeup under my eye area in a triangular shape and down the bridge of my nose. I know that is not what is most popular right now. Once again, do whatever works best for you. So I'm going to apply it in a triangle and bring it out to the left, down the bridge of my nose, and in another triangle. And I like to let this sit for maybe 30 seconds. You're gonna see when I start doing the rest of my face that I don't bake or anything, but I do like to let this concealer kind of marinate into my skin, melt with the warmth of my skin, and kind of just set a little bit. I don't wanna just straight off just blend it out. I wanna get a little more coverage. So I'm gonna let that sit for about 30 seconds. Okay, so now I'm gonna take that same beauty blender and I'm going to use the tapered edge of it, and I'm going to go right up under my eye. Let me bring you guys in a little bit. And I'm going to look up so that the skin under my eye is kind of stretched, and I'm just gonna blend that out. Now, I blend my concealer all the way down so that there's no lines of demarcation. And I blend it all the way to my temples. And I like to hold the side of my nose so I can get it in the corner of my eye. And then I blend my concealer all over my eyelid because I have discoloration on my eye area. Now, I normally don't do that when I'm gonna be applying eyeshadow, but I still wanted to let you guys know like how I actually do my makeup day to day, because day to day I don't wear eyeshadow. I'm going to go over the tops of my eyelids with that sponge just a little bit because I do have hooded eyelids. They can tend to crease. Next, I'm going to set all the liquid that I've just applied using my Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder, aka my favorite setting powder ever. I have tried Charlotte Tilbury, I've tried other brands. As you can see, I'm nearing the end. I always go back to the Laura Mercier. It is my favorite. Okay, so I'm really just gonna set my eye area right now because we are gonna go in with some eyeshadow. Okay, now my favorite eye primer is the Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Eye Primer. Now I have really oily lids, so I like this, but you can use whatever eyeshadow primer you would like. I'm not the biggest fan of makeup primer for my actual complexion, but eyeshadow primer I do love, specifically because I have oily lids. And it's not really necessary that I do this step today because I did put foundation on my eyelids. So I'm going to put this all over my lids. And this is just gonna help provide a smooth, even canvas for eyeshadow application. It also helps keep it from creasing, which is important once again because I have hooded eyelids, which just means when my eyes are open, you really can't see much of the shadow. Now, for eyeshadow today, I'm going to be using my Charlotte Tilbury palette. This is the Pillow Talk Instant Eye Palette. It is one of my newest palettes in my collection. And I'm going to start with an all-over color for my crease. I like to pick a color that is most close to my skin tone. That's going to be my transitional shade. The reason being, I want to create a smooth, even canvas for all the other shades of eyeshadow to blend into. So I usually use a matte color because you wouldn't want to put anything shimmery in your crease area. And I'm also going to use something, like I said, close to my skin tone. So I'm going to take this brush right here. It's just a tapered blending brush. You could use like a MAC 217, a MAC 224, anything like that. And I'm going to go into this shade right here because it's closest to my skin tone while being matte. And I'm just going to swipe that into my crease area. Just like that. And I got a little bit right there. And that's just going to create some depth for my eyelid and also help all the shadows blend more easily into each other. So I'm focusing that in my crease area and I'm going to take it up a little higher to kind of blend it out. And I'm going to do the same to this eye. And I want to do real-time blending so you guys can see just how long it actually takes. I don't take too long with blending because I don't really do intricate eye looks, but you do just want to make sure that the shades and the shadows look very diffused on your eye. Also, another tip, when you are applying a shadow to your transitional area and you want it to be very buffed out and diffused looking, meaning you don't want to see like a huge stripe of opaque color right there, you want to hold your brush a little further to the end. So the closer you hold your brush on the ferrule close to the bristles, you're going to get a more intense wash of color. And if you hold it a little further, you get a more diffused look. That's just a little tip. Little Keiko's tips. Like I said, I did apply makeup at some point in my life. It wasn't my favorite thing to do just because everybody has a different eye shape. And I'm telling you, when I worked in the beauty industry, everyone said, I want to look like Kim Kardashian. And it's like, baby, I can do my best, but you're gonna look beautifully just by looking like yourself. So definitely, you know, when you're getting your makeup done, it's always nice to have inspirational pictures, but just know that you're still gonna look like yourself because of your unique facial structures, all your features, and that's okay. I want to do something shimmery, so I'm going to switch to a flat shader brush. You want to pick something where the bristles are closely packed together. Like I said, the more closely the bristles are packed and the more closely you hold your brush near the bristles, you get a better color opacity. So when I want to apply a shadow to my lid, I want that color to really stand out. So I'm going to go into the Day Trio, which is right here, and I'm going to use that color in the middle. It's a really pretty pink shimmery color. And I'm just literally going to dip my shadow into it like that. I'm not going to rub it back and forth. I'm going to go in one direction and just smooth it into the brush. And then I'm going to apply that directly to my lid. And look how much color opacity I have. So I always tell people when applying eyeshadow, skill is important, but also the brushes that you choose. If I were to apply this color with the brush that we used for the transitional color, it would definitely apply more diffused. So you want to make sure when you're putting a color all over your lid and you want it to really stand out, pick a brush that has tightly or closely packed bristles. So I'm just going to put that all over my lid and do the same to my other eye. Okay, and there we have it. Now, when I apply my eyeshadow looks, I pretty much keep it to 3 colors. I don't really do any cut creases or anything really extravagant, but for the tutorial purposes, I'm going to include a 3rd color. Now, you could absolutely just leave your eyeshadow like this, pop on some lashes or some mascara, but I'm going to deepen up my crease or my outer V. And when I speak of that area, I'm talking of the area from here to here and from here to there. I want to create some shadow in here just to give my eye shape and the eye look extra dimension. So I'm gonna go into the Date Trio, which is right here, and I'm gonna use this shadow right there. It's like a matte burgundy color. More often than not, I use matte shades to deepen my outer V. Just tapping off the excess. I just feel like it works a little better. And as you can see, I'm just literally putting my brush in that transitional area, but towards the outer V area of my eye and wiggling it back and forth. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And I'm gonna show you in a moment how much depth that created. Do you see? I know you can tell the difference. So when you look at this eye, and I haven't even finished applying my outer V eyeshadow color, but when you look at my left eye and my right eye, this eye definitely has more depth, and it just brings a little more intensity to the eyeshadow look. So now I'm gonna blend it down towards the base of my eye as well. Once again, I'm using windshield wiper motions, and then I'm making little circles. And I'm gonna bring you guys in a little closer just so you can really see. Tap that brush in, tap off any excess, and I'm just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Little tiny circular motions. Back and forth, back and forth. And I'm focusing in on my outer V just because of the shape of my eye. And specifically when you do like a smoky eye like this, you really do want to focus it on the outer portion of your eye. So now if I'm looking straight into the camera, this eye definitely has more depth and dimension when compared to my other eye. Now you could wear this definitely during the day if you're going out, but for myself, I would more so do a look like this going out and about at night, which is why this is called the Date Trio, and this one up here where my all over lid shade is called the Day Trio. So I'm gonna do the same thing to this eye. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, wiggling it in my socket. And when I say that, I'm literally talking about my eye socket. So if you were to close your eye, the top of your actual eyeball where your eye socket is, that's where I apply my outer V shade, specifically because I have hooded lids. Little circular motions, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And before you know it, you have created depth and dimension. And you can bring it up a little bit, specifically if you have hooded lids like myself. You can bring the shadow up a little bit. But as you can see, that's pretty much the gist of a really easy, simple smoky eye. I have depth and dimension. I have my focal point of the eyeshadow look, that really pretty like pinky pillow talk shade. And I also have my purple smoked out crease. So we're going to move on to the rest of my face, and we're gonna come back to that eye area later because we're gonna smoke it out even more. I'm going to apply that powder that I used for my eye area all over the rest of my face. I just like to tap it into the top, and then I'm gonna put this all over my face. So what this is doing, this is setting those liquid products that we applied. Liquid products being the foundation and the concealer. Now, when I started doing makeup in college, I was not setting my makeup. I knew nothing about setting makeup. Setting your makeup is a game changer. I have oily skin, so it's really important for me. But even if you don't have oily skin, you definitely want to set a liquid with a powder to kind of lock it in so that it doesn't move during the day. You know, I was talking about my friend who was doing her makeup and she was asking for tips. The biggest tip is exfoliation and setting your makeup and applying a lot more coverage. I think a lot of times when ladies and gentlemen go get their makeup done professionally, the makeup artist uses a lot of coverage. And more often than not, when we're doing our makeup at home, we're probably thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to look like a cake face, which is absolutely true. But a lot of times your makeup looks so amazing when a makeup artist does it because they caked you out and they gave you a lot of coverage. Setting powder also can give you a little bit of coverage, specifically if you're gonna bake with it, but I don't tend to do that. I just like doing this to set, especially because it's really hot and humid in Atlanta. Okay, so now that I've set my face, I'm gonna go on to bronzer, which is my favorite part of any makeup look. I'm gonna zoom you guys out a little bit. If you look at my face right now, it is rather round. It is rather flat. I have no dimension in my face. The only dimension I have is in my eye area. So I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. This is my favorite bronzer currently. I'm also taking this tapered brush from MAC. I believe it's a MAC 138. I also believe it's discontinued. You can use any brush that is specifically for bronzer, or honestly, you can use any brush you'd like. Like I said, there's really no rules to makeup. Now, when applying my bronzer, I apply it in a 3 and an E shape. So I go from the top of my forehead down to my temples, under my cheek, and then back to my ear and under my jawline. Tops of my forehead, down to my temples, under my cheek, back to my ear, and down to my jawline. So I usually start on my cheek area because I like to give my face some shape. I have really, well, I don't have really big cheeks, but I definitely have an oval face. So when you are applying your bronzer, bronzer is meant to give your skin some warmth. So this is the color of my bronzer. It's not too deep. I probably could go a little deeper, but I really still don't even have my maximized tan that I usually have. I haven't been hitting my pool as much as I would like to on the weekends. But this is how I apply my bronzer. You also can apply it differently according to your facial structure. Like I said, makeup application is all about facial structure. So if I already have really nice defined cheekbones and I don't have an oval shaped face, I might not apply as much bronzer to where I am applying it. So definitely take a look at your face and see where you have fuller areas of your face. You're going to want to apply the bronzer right below it to give your face some dimension. So you can see my bronzer is applied right there to give my face a little bit of a shadow. And honey, we need all the face slimming. An extra step that I do with my bronzer is go across the bridge of my nose. I do that because normally that's where the sun would hit your face, and bronzer is supposed to mimic being sun-kissed. My goal is to always look like Mary J. Blige, but that doesn't happen. It's never gonna happen. I don't even get a cute tan. So that's my bronzer, and as you can see, I just have more life to my face. It doesn't look stark. I have a shape to my face, and I have dimension. Dimension, dimension, dimension. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my mascara. I kind of like to bounce around areas of my face just to give everything time to settle and marinate. I'm using my favorite mascara, you guys. If you've been watching my videos for years, you'd know that I used to like Dior mascara. Then I liked Lancome, which I still do own, the Monster Big. But my ultimate favorite right now is Bite Beauty's Upswing Mascara, and my dog is going crazy. We must have a delivery person here. Okay, so this is my favorite mascara. One that's really, really similar to this is Buxom's mascara. It's in like black and silver packaging, but currently the Bite Beauty is my favorite. This is what the brush looks like. Now I have really short and straight lashes, so this works well for me. But honestly, before I tried it, everyone on social media whose opinion that I trust, they were all recommending this mascara. Now, in all full disclosure, I was sent, well, not this one. When I originally tried the Upswing mascara, I was sent it for review because I'm a Bite Beauty ambassador, but I've since purchased it multiple times because, I mean, look, it's amazing. It does wonders for my eye. So when I'm applying my mascara, I apply one coat all over my lashes, from the base of my lashes to the tips. Then I'm gonna let that sit, and while that dries, I'm gonna go back into my lower lash line. Now, this is a tip that I like to do because I feel it helps your makeup look a little more finished. This is what a lot of makeup artists do, and it's a good hack. So you're gonna take a pencil brush, which looks like this, it's tapered. And I'm gonna go into that purple matte shade that I used for my outer V, and I'm gonna run that along my lower lash line. And this is gonna give my eyes some smokiness without actually using like a black shadow or an eyeliner. I just find that this looks a little more natural. See? And I'm really just gonna focus it kind of like 3/4 of the way. And I'm gonna meet it with my upper lash line. It just, ooh, it just adds a little intensity. I love it. Do you see how much intensity that added? Ooh, it makes me so happy. Okay, now I'm gonna go back in with mascara and I'm going to apply a second coat of mascara to my upper lashes. But the caveat is that I'm only gonna apply it to the tips of them. So I don't like for my mascara to look too clumpy. So I'm just literally going to apply it to the tips of my lashes to give them some extra length without giving my lashes extra volume. So can you see the difference? These, I don't wanna flick you guys off. These lashes are sky high when compared to the ones that I'm working on now. And I'm just doing it to the tips of my lashes because this one is already a little clumpy. Now I'm going to apply mascara to my bottom lashes. Ooh, honey. Okay, so our eyes are pretty much done. I still want to touch up my eyebrow. I am not liking this eyebrow. It just looks so, I don't know. I'm having a few bad eyebrow weeks. Okay, now I'm going to apply some blush. Yeah, I'm gonna go for my favorite blush right now. This is my Pat McGrath blush. This is in the shade Electric Bloom. Now, I know this is a beginner-friendly makeup look. You do not have to use a blush that's this bright, but I want to because this blush makes me happy. I love it. I'm gonna use my MAC 129 brush. I've had this for over a decade. Because this is so bright, I'm literally just gonna tap into it and pop it on my cheeks. I mean, it just gives me the prettiest little flush of color. You can blend it out and make it really diffused, or you can build the color intensity. We're gonna build, honey. I like color. I just love this blush. Ooh, it just makes me so happy. Now, once again, you can apply your blush in whichever direction you like. Some people take their blush all the way to their temples. I like to concentrate it on my cheeks and then blend it out, but that's also because I have large cheeks. But definitely do what works best for you. My next step is very optional, and this is like a little hack that I've been doing for years because I do have 2 moles on my face. I'm gonna take a Q-tip. I'm gonna remove the makeup from my moles. Now I do this because my thought process is if you can see my moles, it gives the illusion that I have less makeup on. Now, I'm not trying to trick anybody. This is not a trickery situation, but I don't like to look like I have on as much makeup as I really do. That's just me. So that's a little hack that I do. And now we're pretty much done with the face. I'm gonna move on to lips, and I think I'm gonna do something neutral. Okay, for lips, I'm gonna use my Huda Beauty liquid lipstick in Trendsetter. This is like a beautiful terracotta dark nude that I love wearing in the summertime. It smells like marshmallows. It's a nice deeper brown tone. And because I went so bold on my eyes and with my cheek colors, I wanted to keep my lips a little neutral. And lastly, let's spray our face with a little more Charlotte Tilbury, just to lock her in. We love a little misting moment. So you guys, this is the finished look. Let me come a little closer. I love a good toned down but still like smoky eye with a neutral lip. I think these tones are perfect for the summer. Yeah, I just love how this look came out. I hope it was easy for you guys to follow along. I really think this is a wearable, everyday, beginner-friendly makeup look. I know it might look a little intense, but I promise it was so easy to do. Let me know if you guys try it out or if you found any helpful tips from this video. I really wanted to do something beginner-friendly and something that I think most people would be able to follow along with. I don't do too many tutorials anymore. The reason being is because I don't wear too much eyeshadow. So this was kind of fun for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I love you so much for watching. Leave any comments or questions you have down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.